honest, ever since I was a little girl, I grew up with coffee in my family. So I grew up in my grandfather's farm. It's something that is in my family life, and it's the best moments in my childhood I spent with my father in my grandfather's coffee farm, going with him very early in the morning to the coffee mill and seeing everything that was going on in the coffee mill. So just the smell of the washed coffees and the cherries and playing around with the water in the coffee mill just made me really, really happy to share time with my father. So every time now that I drink a cup of coffee, I always think of those moments in my childhood.
I think coffee is a very famous drink. I think everyone in this planet likes to prove about coffee, likes to learn about the coffee because it's like interesting drink.
Muy probablemente porque cada café tiene una forma más agradable para diferentes personas. Algunas personas puede que les guste más fuerte, a otras personas más suave, a otras personas que se les note las características, así como yo. Entonces, dependiendo de la forma en la que se prepare, se puede exaltar eso que particularmente le gusta a esa persona, ¿verdad? Y también puede haber un vínculo sentimental. Por ejemplo, yo tomo eso porque me gusta así porque así me lo hacía mi abuela, o así lo tomaba chiquito, todo así.
Coffee, I don't know, it's such an integral part of my day. I guess it means a lot. It means a fresh start, it means energy, but it just means a quality product. It's like anything else that's artisanal that you really enjoy, that you can just sip on and just be like, wow, and think about everything that has gone into that cup of coffee. Like you can sit and listen to music and pick out all the little nuances and notes in it. And yes, sometimes you just turn on music to have on in the background. Sometimes you just grab coffee because you need to get going in the morning. But it's those times where you can really sit and spend some time with it. I think that that's what makes it really special, is to have those moments with coffee.
So I love the French press because it's very practical, and when you put the coffee in the French press and you pour the water in it, I feel like the coffees really express all their flavors out towards the water, and you just have to wait 3 or 4 minutes and then you plunge it and it's ready to go. So I love that method personally.
Really enjoy a French press or a pour over in some of those methods. They really bring out a lot of the nuances in the coffee. But a lot of times during the week, I want good coffee, I want hot coffee, and I want a lot of coffee. So we often will prepare it in basically what's a standard coffee maker, but instead of like your general carafe, it goes into one of these metal insulated containers, so it keeps it hotter longer. So the first thing I do when I come down is I will start our hot water kettle, because I want to warm this up before I actually start making the coffee, and I want to warm up my mugs. But I very much so, I don't like lukewarm coffee. When coffee starts to like drop down from being like piping hot, I don't know, it's gotta be piping hot or it's gotta be cold. So I like to try to make my coffee to stay as warm as possible for as long as possible.
Okay, I think the flavor is got changed with the roast. When you got a light roast, you have a different flavor. If you got a dark roast, you got another flavor. The people of Guatemala likes the coffee with sugar. People of United States doesn't like sugar. Or maybe a cappuccino here in Guatemala is with whole milk. And US is like almond milk, like soy milk, so this has changed a lot.
A mí personalmente me encanta esta forma de tomar café, pero realmente no podría decir que es del todo mi favorita, pero probablemente es una de las que más me gusta. ¿Y por qué? Bueno, porque pues dependiendo del café que yo le ponga, la técnica o lo que yo quiera hacer con él le va a dar un sabor característico. Entonces, creo que eso es lo que me gusta, poderle dar que el café tenga su propia identidad, pero que al mismo tiempo como que yo también le pueda dar parte de esa identidad. Eso quizá es de lo que más me gusta de esto, pero en realidad hay muchas maneras.
The great thing about coffee is even from the small little seed that you plant in the land, in the earth, it's a family thing, you know, whole families working coffee together. It's a family tradition ever since there are small growers that grow their land with coffees and they prepare them and they produce them, all the way to people getting together for a cafecito and just getting some friends together or family together, like a big meal, a big family meal here in Guatemala. You will always end it with a great cafecito. The great thing about coffee is that it always brings people together, and it's a great way to end any meeting with friends or with family.
You know, not everyone's going to get to travel around to visit coffee farms, but I think just on an individual level, asking where your coffee comes from, asking where you buy it, you know, buying it from someone local and creating a relationship with them, finding out how and why they prepare it the way they do, what do they recommend as the best way for this particular roast.
Entonces, para mí tal vez eso es lo que significa, y el vínculo que uno crea con otras personas a través de él, pues es una excelente excusa para acercarse a las personas, ¿verdad? Las buenas pláticas normalmente van acompañadas de un buen café. Un día con mucha energía y contento normalmente va acompañado de un café, entonces la verdad es que es un buen aliado. Y eso sería tal vez lo más interesante sobre el café para mí. Entonces, creo que esa es la forma en la que yo resumiría mi gusto por el café, ¿no?
For everybody that has a great cup of coffee out there, I would really inspire them to look beyond just the only cup of coffee and really think where that coffee is coming from, and try to also ask and research maybe where those coffees are coming from, and really try to know the people behind those coffees. Where is it coming from? Which families are making them? So I would really inspire people to know more about the people behind that cup of coffee that you're drinking.